Hi, everyone. Good morning. This is Dan. Welcome to Engelgeist. For those of you that are new, welcome. For those of you that are returning, welcome back. And for those of you that support me over on my Patreon page, thank you so very much for your subscriptions. So, this is the daily forecast for all signs. It is a shared collective reading to be utilized by whomever sees it, and actually whenever you see it. It was originally created for Thursday, the 23rd of June, but it's not solely set for that date. If you're seeing it on a date that's different than that date and the reading still makes sense, by all means, utilize it in your life or in, your thoughts or whatever. If something I say resonates with you, then by all means, it's meant for you, right? In that moment. A couple house things. Check out the drop-down menu under any of the daily videos. In there is what decks I'm using, how to follow me on social media, how to book a private reading, and also some things I want you to think about when utilizing my readings. So keep that in mind, and please check that out. Ways you can support the channel, please hit the thumbs up button. And if you're new to me, subscribe. Click the notification bell so you get notified every day when I put up a new video, because I do put up daily content. I filmed the day before, just so you know. So if you're really into my readings, you can go to my Patreon channel and subscribe there and see the daily reading a day early. What else? If this reading doesn't resonate, you're not doing anything wrong. Nothing's broken. You're not off your path. Don't worry about that. This may not be your reading, and that's okay. And I will be referring back to the Sunday reading, which populates in the lower left-hand corner of this video. And that's the underpinning energy. So if you hear me referencing cards that you don't see on the screen during this reading, that's what I'm referencing to. So you can always look at that video and kind of get that layer of the reading that started on Sunday, that showed us what was going on throughout the week. We'll all experience these cards in slightly different ways around slightly different situations, but if it applies, let it fly. So take what you need and leave the rest, as they say. Okay, let's see what we've got going on. It's hot here this morning, I can tell you already, and it's not even like that. The sun's not even up yet, and it's hot in this house. Ugh. Okay, we have the World. And it's interesting to me because we had this card on Sunday as the underpinning midweek energy. So we're doubling down, basically, is what I'm going to say. We did have the only major arcana card that showed up in the underpinning video in Sunday's reading was the World, which showed up. It usually should show up around, in my imagination, any time between, I would say, Tuesday to Thursday, maybe even for some of you as late as Friday, right? The World represents kind of lessons learned. Here with this acorn shell, what I love about this and the way that it's sort of depicted is we have, to me, I think that's the moon behind the acorn, right? But what I love about this is that from this tiny seed can become a giant, massive, strong tree, right? Acorns, we can also eat them, right? So there's like sort of food involvement with this card in a way. You're like not nurturing. Well, nurturing is sort of, could be the World too, but like assimilation is how I see the World, right? We can assimilate this. We can take this in, like we can eat in the acorn, if that makes sense. We can also plant this acorn and watch it grow into a giant, massive tree, right? That would be strong and beautiful and all of those things, right? And so from the World, what I mean, maybe I'm not explaining myself correctly because I'm not fully awake yet, but with the World, it's about the beginnings and endings of the Fool's journey, right? Because when we get to the World card, which is the last card of the major arcana, it's sort of like, okay, now we can rest, we can celebrate, we can reflect back, we can understand all of the things that we've learned, and we can continue forward because the major arcana cycles through again, and we start back at card 0, the Fool, right? Which is, again, beginning a new aspect or journey. When I see this coupled with the underpinning of the World, as the midweek card, it makes me feel like, okay, whatever we're tying up, whatever we're looking at, whatever we're contemplating, this is the time to start to how do I want to say this? Like consciously make the choice towards what seeds we want to plant or which direction we want to go, which path we want to take. And also, while doing that, while making that sort of conscious decision as to, okay, this is the road that I'm going, or this is the direction that I'm heading, we also need to look at the fact that what are we departing from, or what have we learned, what are we assimilating, what are we taking into into our awareness, right? That um, has informed us in some way, has taught us in some way, has grown us in some way, right? And so I like the representation of the seed, because the seed is sort of not only nourishing, I guess is the right word, like it's nourishing, like we could eat it, right? But it also has this symbology in my mind of this idea of great growth and change and transformation that comes from this. So arriving at this point in the midweek, if we find ourselves reflecting back, that's completely fine. If we find ourselves also looking forward, that's completely fine, right? And we may be doing both very much at the same time. And to me, with the double down of seeing the world twice this week, or during this midweek, is that these choices or changes or pathways that are opening for us, they are obvious. And they're to be celebrated to a certain degree, right? There may be risk involved, right? They might feel big because this is major arcana doubled down, like, oh my God. But it's like, I don't know. There's this phrase that I've been saying to myself recently, like, if you don't take any risk, there is no reward, right? And that's kind of how I'm thinking about these cards maybe a little bit, is that like, if we don't plant the seed, we never get the tree, right? And from the tree comes the beautiful grounded root system and the strength and all of that, right? But it all starts from the seed. And so I think that this is a period of maybe celebration coupled with reflection, and then conscious choice as to what we pursue next, or how we go about it, through maybe looking at our past, or understanding our situations for what they are, and being in an acceptance of them, right? There's this sort of completeness to the world. Like, it offers this sense of completion. Like, oh, okay, I finally get why Bob in accounting was talking to me that way. Even though it was totally getting my goat under my skin, I can send Bob in accounting away with love. And I just use that as a stupid example, but do you know what I mean? So it's like coming full term, understanding and gaining the wisdom out of it, and then moving on in a strong, powerful, kind of celebratory, decisive way. So enjoy what is going on around you. Be aware of it and think about it from this perspective of completing cycles and starting new cycles, exciting cycles, cycles that can bring about change and growth in ways that we maybe didn't, foresee or understand. That's kind of this acorn seed to me. It's just like, I almost want to say like, oh shit, guys, what do we got planted? And I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean that in like oh my God, we could have a big giant tree on our hands at some point and not understand how we actually got here. So maybe these world cards are trying to remind us to like sink in, reflect, assimilate, adopt the knowledge, the wisdom of where we've been, and maybe the excitement and the newness of where we're heading. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. Let's look at the Spirit Animal Oracle. Oh, hey, we got a new one, and it's card number 1. So that's kind of funny because it's the first card, and this is the last card of the Major Arcana. This is the first card of the deck. It's Ant Spirit. Time to collaborate. So, look at they're putting together puzzle pieces, figuring it out. And I'm going to go back to the weekly grounding stone for this week, is this sharing, right? Collaboration and sharing. So I think in some ways, sharing also represents a little bit like with this world card showing up twice in the midweek, is it's reminding us to not only like reflect and share within ourselves about what's going on and what choices we're making, but also maybe sharing that truth with others too, through collaboration, through moving forward, through hard work. That's how I kind of also see Ant Spirit as a hard worker. They work collectively, right? For the entirety of the hive or the colony, I guess that it would be. But the card number one is also the focus is on the self and how we get ourselves, not necessarily ahead, but success for ourselves through maybe collaboration and the success of others. Does that make sense? Connected to the world to me also makes this collaborative spirit of ant spirit kind of almost stronger, right? Because we're bringing in the entirety of the world and the possibility that it has within it, right? That's the potential of the strength and the potential of this seed, right? There's all sorts of potential right now, I feel like, for us in whatever it is we want to work towards and move towards. And it may feel far off. It may feel like we may want to slip into like, oh, I'm not strong enough, because you think of ant as being this tiny little creature that's helpless. It's not necessarily the truth. Ants are actually extremely strong. And so we may be stronger than we realize. And so keeping that in mind as we move forward and in successful collaboration, share what we want, create it, and make it happen, right? All right, so let's read Ant Spirit. It's interesting, we got the last major arcana in tarot and the first card of, so again, like completion of cycles and then beginning of new cycles. And so one of these ants, they're giving me Pisces vibes too, where they're going in different directions. One's going this way, one's going that way, but this guy's definitely headed towards the future. So, and this guy's kind of like, reflecting upon the past, which is what I was just talking about in this. I don't know. Do I sound crazy? That's what I'm seeing. It's like in this sort of circumference of reflection that's going on and assimilation and possibility. This guy's moving forward in possibility, while this guy is also like collaboratively reflecting back and looking at what has he learned and how can he move forward, move him and his friend forward in a successful way. All right. Oracle message. When Ant Spirit comes to visit, it's to celebrate the benefits of working in a partnership with others as part of a community or tribe. Spirit reminds you that to build your dream, you need to work with others, accept help, and trust in your most important partnership, the one that you have with Spirit. Your intentions will come to fruition if you remain awake and focused on co-creating your reality with others. Sorry, my alarm. What are you eating? Oh, that's your toy. That's okay. Just want to make sure you didn't got my shoe. Sorry, guys. Okay, so, let me see here. Your intentions will come to fruition if you remain awake and focused on co-creating your reality with others and with Spirit. Remember that the world around you can easily seduce you if you don't have some sort of practice or discipline like meditation to keep you on track as you build the life you desire. Connecting with others and having accountability partners can be very helpful, as it's unlikely that everyone will fall asleep at the same time. The other message Ant Spirit holds is that you are now at an auspicious time to ask for help and receive it. Whether you need help assembling a team, finding a new tribe, or requesting assistance from others who are there for you, everything is working to support you right now. The protection message, and this would be if the card is inverted, but I still read it anyways. Do you really believe that you have to do everything yourself? Do you believe that somehow any help you get will be disappointing or not good enough? Perhaps it is time to address your issues of control and bias towards the negative. It doesn't matter where or why you came to be pessimistic or mistrustful. The fact that Ant Spirit is showing up now is a sign that you have the opportunity to heal and to relearn to trust that others will show up for you in a genuine way. Wow, that's powerful. Ant Spirit wants you to remember that your expectations and limiting beliefs are a vibrational offering that draws in the opposite of what you desire. Think about the seeds we're planting, guys. Spirit wants to help you and will send collaborative partners your way. It's time to see the universe as conscious and connected, loving and helpful, but you must participate in this activity of co-creation. This is kind of like sharing, guys. Creating reality is not just about dreaming. And that's kind of the palpability of the reality of that seed in the world card. It's like we have to plant it and then tend to it and then allow it to kind of come to being, right? If you are feeling orphaned from community, reach out and communicate. If you feel vulnerable, know that being present in your vulnerability can help you draw in someone who wants to assist you. Trust in your partnership with spirit, and your outer conditions will start to reflect that. Then you will see the miracles waiting for you, including partners who appear ready to lend a hand. So I dig that. Let's go do the grounding stone. And the grounding stone is just a principle we want to ground in today. Okay, I'll take it. Kind of a little bit of an odd card. I know that this is sort of snowflake obsidian because there's one little piece of snowflake on it right there, right? Which is the same stone as this one, which is sharing throughout the week. So it's a little hint back to this in my mind. But the word is angel. To me, I feel like this is like spirit connecting to us, maybe guiding us through. Where are our angels? Being conscious of them, choosing them, connecting with them. That can be also our tribe or our community that's spoken of here in Ant Spirit. Being reminded to come back to that sense of spirit, our higher selves, and how we connect to the higher selves of others or the actual angels that are out there. Angels can appear in many different forms, like both human, spiritual. They show up and sort of save us or bless us. So how do I want to say this? If we have planted some seeds, or if we are ending chapters and beginning new ones, and we're feeling maybe not overwhelmed, but like a little bit like, what do I do? Or how do I make this happen? How do I achieve this through, we might need some collaboration, not only with human beings, but maybe with our spirit guides, which can be angels, or with the angels themselves, praying to them, inviting them in, asking them to work with us as we connect to this larger power, right? That would be representational of the world card that creates and opens the doorways and pathways towards what it is we want. Does that make sense? So connect to that higher sort of vibrational love and support that is out there for you, and ask it to come in and assist. It might even just be from your own higher self. Who knows? You could be an angel. So for yourself or for someone else today. That is your reading. Thank you so much. Please like, share, comment, subscribe, and I will see you tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye.